Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to start this eve of match briefing conference for England ahead of their bronze final against Argentina tomorrow at Stade de France. We are joined on the top table on the far right by Sam Underhill, head coach Steve Borthwick, and Maro Itoje. We'll go straight to the first question, please.
Hi everyone, thanks for your time. Steve, obviously we've seen the RFU statement today about the Tom Curry situation. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty comprehensive statement, and I think there's a little that you can add to it. I think what I can do is the RFU's expressed great disappointment at World Rugby's decision. What I do is that disappointment is shared by Tom, his teammates, the management team, everybody associated with this team shares that bitter disappointment at World Rugby's decision.
Is one of the difficult situations that for all parties there isn't a sort of resolution one way or another, and it's kind of, it almost potentially leaves a cloud over both players, which I'm sure nobody wants.
Oh, let's be clear, Tom Curry's done nothing wrong. Let's be clear on that. So we've got a victim of a situation who's not been able to have his voice heard. That by World Rugby's decision, they've denied the opportunity for the victim of the situation, Tom Curry, to have his voice heard. That's where the disappointment really comes.
And I know you said yesterday that he's absolutely fine in himself and obviously, you know, totally, completely professional and preparing as per usual. Is that still the case, or do you have to sort of get around him even tighter than yesterday because of this now?
Well, I'm sure the men either side of me will be able to talk about him more, but I sense that firstly I'll say Tom has been incredible all week, as he always is. He's an incredible professional and a real hard, tough rugby player. But I think everyone needs support sometimes, and I think the players have certainly ensured, the whole management ensured Tom has been getting plenty of support through this situation.
Hi Steve, I know you'll have lots of motivations for this game, but there's what's Tom's been through this week. Does that add anything to that, to trying to do it for him?
We got lots of motivation. The players have got tons of motivation. Playing for England in a game, competing for the third place at the World Cup, and there's tons of motivation. The situation, and let's be clear here, I know people keep talking about the situation regarding Tom. Tom Curry has done nothing wrong. Somebody said something to Tom Curry, Tom's reported it, then there's been a situation that the World Rugby made a decision not to allow the opportunity for the victim's voice to be heard. That's where the disappointment comes from. Now, Tom's been brilliant. We're, in terms of this week, focusing on the game that we've got to play tomorrow night that we're looking forward to. And the players have been fantastic in ensuring that Tom gets all the support he needs.
And can I just ask about the training state? You had 5 players leading the team out who may or may not be playing for England again. Assuming that wasn't a coincidence, and maybe just a couple of quick words on that departing quintet.
To be brutally honest, I didn't see it, and I certainly nothing organised. Maro?
Well, I think it was just. I don't know if all of them may or may not play. That's for them to decide, and the big man to my right. However, they are senior members of the squad. They've had a great career in playing for England, representing the jersey, and I think they just had I guess seniority rules on their entrance to the stadium.
Maro, you did a bit of a number on Argentina in the group stage. What do you think their motivation for tomorrow night will be?
Well, again, we're competing for third place at this World Cup, so there are loads. There's loads to be motivated about. I guess from their point of view, we beat them earlier. They'll probably want to turn that around. But it's going to be a great contest. It's two top teams going at it, two good teams, two high quality teams. two teams coming off the back of a loss, wanting to get it right.
And Sam, how does it feel to be back on the World Cup stage?
Yeah, be almost normal with the lads that are here. Obviously spent a fair bit of time with them in the build up. Delighted to be a part of it. It's always an honour to be a part of the group, even more so to be playing. So yeah, for me personally, a massive honour, and very grateful to be here.
And Steve, are there any details on Kevin Sinfield's future? There's been a suggestion that he might stand down off the World Cup.
I think I've been in this job 9-10 months, and one thing I've learned very quickly is it's impossible and unwise to comment upon every rumour and piece of speculation that's thrown out. So I'm making no comment on any of that.
Hi Steve, Will here. Just back on the situation we've had this whole week, is there any process by which you can take this further or make more representations of World Rugby, or, I don't know, appeal the decision at all?
From our point of view, we'll leave that. The RFU's come pretty categorical with their statement today. As far as we're concerned, we've got a game tomorrow night, and we're getting on with that. Now, I think everything we've done, everything Tom's done, has been done in the right way. I think in World Rugby's come to this decision, which is incredibly disappointing.
Do you worry that because it's been left so unsatisfactorily for all parties, that it will now overshadow future games between England and South Africa?
I don't think so in that regard, but I think what is important to say right now, and I say so in my role here, is that discrimination has got no part in what we do, no part whatsoever. The RFU statement makes that clear. We stand by that as well.
Can I ask you, Sam and Maro, I won't ask you about the situation itself, but just how you supported Tom in the tricky week. Maro first.
Well, first I'll say I think Tom's been tremendous. He's been incredibly courageous to do what he's done, and the manner he's done it, you know, as Steve said, in the right way, through proper channels, conducting himself in a manner that, you know, he should be proud of, and his family, and definitely as teammates, we're proud of him, of what he's done, because to do that isn't easy, you know, to make a statement like that isn't easy, to call out stuff like that isn't easy, and as he's seen this week, when you do something courageous like that, you put yourself out there, and he's been absolutely fantastic in that regard. And in terms of how we've tried to support him, just to be there for him, just to you know, try and be there for him in any way he needs. If he needs to talk about anything, you know, we're always there for him. But he's a strong man. He has a strong personality, strong will, and he's been, as I said, he's been great throughout the week.
Has it been troubling for you to see the abuse he's got when he's just raised something that he thought he heard on the field, and it's him who's getting quite a lot of the heat on social media and other places?
Tom is the innocent party in this respect. He's as Steve said, he's done nothing wrong. He's, you know, the victim of the situation. So for him to have this abuse is, you know, it's disgraceful.
On a slightly lighter note as well, like his players, it's his 50th cap this week. He's an incredible example of a professional player and a test player. So for us as players, we're not going to let that overshadow a massive occasion for him, his family, and for us.
Hi Steve, can I ask about George Martin? It looks like he's got some kind of brace on his knee. Is that an ongoing concern? Is that just precautionary?
Yeah, so he tweaked his knee in the game last weekend. Had investigations this week. You'll see a specialist back in England at the start of next week. We don't anticipate it being a major long-term problem, but make sure it's handled right. Obviously made him unavailable for selection this weekend, but don't anticipate it being a long-term injury.
And Ben Earl was talking in the week about this potentially being an occasion for new leaders to step up and set the direction that England can go in over the next 4 years potentially. Do you see that as a real opportunity for maybe some of the younger guys in the squad to really step up and lead the way?
I see a couple of things. One, that I think there's a great opportunity tomorrow night to play another finals game World Cup. No, it's not the final we want. It's not the game on Saturday we wanted to be in. I think that's another incredible experience for this team. And the second thing I'll say is I think there's enormous growth in this squad. I've said all along that I think there's been a great blend of experience and young, exciting talent coming through. And I think there is enormous growth. Last weekend, I talked about the age profiles of all the 4 semi-finalists and where England were. I think we were 2 years younger on average than the South African team. And so I think with that, all those things in mind, I think there is enormous potential for growth.
Hello, Steve. A question about Arundel. For you, is he only a winger or a versatile player, and in which area can he improve?
No, I think he can play across the back three. I think, as you've seen, we've got some pretty good fullbacks in this squad. So I think certainly the opportunities where I've used him has been on the wing, but he's also trained at fullback with us. So having that versatility is really important. I think what I see with him is he's always the last off the training field. He's the one who's still on the training field after the goal kickers, after Owen and George and Marcus have finished. Henry's out there working exceptionally hard on all his skill development. So again, following from the previous question, so about the potential for growth in this squad and development of this squad, I think Henry's a very, very exciting player for tomorrow night and the future of English rugby.
Question for Maro, please. In the bit we were allowed to see of training, there were a lot of huddles going on. Can you give us a flavour of what was said, and was that sort of celebrating the players moving on, or was it something different?
No, it wasn't. It was mainly about our game plan, in terms of just again getting clarity about how we want to play in specific areas of the field.
A question for Sam and Maro, just on Courtney. Can you sum up how difficult a transition it is, maybe particularly for Maro first, it is to go from second row to reinvent yourself as a blindside flanker, and how much you think he's sort of improved in that role?
No, I think Courtney's been fantastic. I think he's one of those players who's evolved over time and has found a way to get better. He's played across different eras. He played with the man to my right back in the early 2000s, and he's still playing today. So he's the way he's evolved his game is amazing. And he's a great man. He's a great man, a great person. The boys have loved being around him. He's set a good example with his dedication on the field, and for all of the squad, he's gonna be missed.
Yeah, I think Maro said it all there. It's hard to think of someone that's as good as many things as he is. He's obviously an incredible line-up forward, incredible in defence. He's a good ball carrier. His work rate's phenomenal. He's a great example of a world-class back row. I can't think of anyone better I've played with. So yeah, he'll be sorely missed. But a great bloke to be around. Yeah.
Any further questions?
Sam, just for your situation, I know obviously you've been fully fit for a while now, but you did have obviously injuries before that. How big an opportunity is this for you to, in a similar way to Ben talking about setting a tone for what's to come? I mean, the opportunity in itself for this match to state your case for one, to hopefully win this match and go home with a medal, but two, state your case for the new cycle. It's a big opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, I think one of the things I've learned is you can't think too far ahead in rugby. Normally the next game's the best one to focus on. So yeah, for me, I'll be trying to make everyone proud of the weekend and put a performance in that I'm proud of, and yeah, normally your goals are pretty aligned with playing well. So yeah, it's an easy sort of motivation. As to whether anything comes of it, that's out of my hands. But yeah, it's got a lot of motivation for the weekend for sure.
And Steve, just on Henry, like you say, great to see that he's so dedicated, but clearly at sort of points early in the tournament, people were saying, wondering, why he wasn't playing more. But you were very clear about what you wanted from your wingers in the very specific game plan. Are those the sorts of areas that he will and you will be looking to sort of round out in his game in the years ahead? And because obviously we know everything about his sort of explosive talents, don't we? But are those the bits that someone like Johnny May, was clear about building block by block over the course of his obviously very impressive career?
Yeah, and I think as players gain more experience, each one of those things informs the guys of what they need to do, having seen situations before. They're never exactly the same, but there are always some similarities there, and you can draw from that experience. I think that the other players, you mentioned Johnny May. Johnny May's kind of taken Henry under his wing a little bit as well through this summer, and trying to impart all of his knowledge and share that with Henry. And Henry, to his immense credit, has a great thirst for knowledge. So I'm looking forward to seeing Henry go tomorrow night.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. This is the end of this press conference.
Thank you.